It's the best club in WA, and I mean that, the best club in WA. There's no other way to put it. So it's the most successful club on court. That's 14 championships, 7 with the men and 7 with the women. 23 grand final appearances, many under Rick Morecambe, who'll be speaking later on during this little interaction, and also the late John Gardner, a former Olympian, multi-championship winning coach, 5-time champion, mentor and friend to many here today, and his legacy lives on Call 1. So a round of applause for both two legends of this club. But off the court, the club is also very successful. It's focused on community winning and development at a junior level. It's produced champions, Wildcats, Lynx, NBL players of all levels, WNBL players, Olympians, marriages, kids, lifelong friendships, and probably a big reason we're all here today to celebrate. So you have to understand there's a good reason why we keep seeing second and third generation Hawks walking through the doors. But it's not just the past players that we celebrate here today. We also celebrate the coaches, the supporters, the partners, the parents, the managers, the volunteers, the cheerers, the scorers, the drivers, going to and from every single training and club, and also everything in between. So, and most importantly, the consolers when you lose a very important game. So we'll start today with the president of the club, the former coach, Peter Barrett.
Thanks, Josh, and welcome everybody. It's so good to see so many faces that some of us haven't seen for a long time. It's great to have everyone back at the club and celebrating our 50 years. I'd like to take a moment to remember some of our life members who unfortunately aren't with us anymore. John Gardner, Phil Anderson, Del Bussell and Margaret Wright. These 4 people played such a significant part in the fabric of our club, and it's pretty hard to think of something that's happened in the past without thinking of one of those 4 people. I still walk into an NBL 1 game and expect to hear Margaret's voice somewhere in the stand sharing her advice with the referees. She was never shy. But welcome everybody to tonight. I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but hopefully you can stay for the evening and watch our men's and women's teams on the court a little bit later. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete. And don't forget the women, they start at 5 p.m, is that right? 5 p.m and 7 p.m tip-off, an early start for the men as well, so stick around for that. Next we'll invite up the coach for the women's team, Craig Mansfield. Craig, would you like to come up? Big round of applause for Craig.
Thanks everybody. I must confess I'm a little bit nervous and feel a little unqualified probably to be up here speaking in front of all of you. I've been here 18 months now, which constitutes probably 2% of the 50 years, so I'm not a big part of the history, but I have always admired the club, and as someone that has been at a couple of different clubs over my journey, I'm very happy to have landed here, and I can probably have a different perspective from some of you that were only here, where I can verify that this is the best club in WA, and this is the best place I've been, so I'm really happy to be here. One of the things that sort of drew me to being here, the success is one thing, and we see the banners, and that's a bit of a shadow, but was more about how you guys competed, and how your teams were, and how you went about it on and off the court. And I saw the Facebook post, the media post this week, and a lot of you, when you're quoted, you talk about that. We obviously everyone experienced some success, but there was a lot of mateship and a lot of value on and off the court, and that's something we're trying to emulate and bring forward with the girls, and we're trying to continue that environment. For us, for our girls, I'm proud of how they've gone so far over the last 18 months. They are growing as a group. We do have a great group of current Hawks players, and we're really looking forward to sort of continuing to build the program, and hopefully we have some success as well as we move forward as part of that.
Oh, thanks, Rick. Next up, Matt Parsons, coach of the men's SBS side, championship winning coach. Give him a round of applause.
Thanks, Josh. I have to admit that I was probably the reason that you played so many DMPs or that wasn't the back of your career, so you can't blame me for that.
That's okay.
Firstly, it's a real honour to be able to speak in front of the Hawks family, the community that's been gathering over 50 years. It's a fantastic club, fantastic achievements over the number of years, and I guess the biggest thing is probably the impact that's happened off the court for all of you who are lifelong friends. And I think Josh, you touched on families, boyfriends, girlfriends, and kids, and everything else that comes from it. So I think that's a remarkable place for someone to grow up and for kids to mould themselves into individuals. And I think we see that now as we start seeing the progression of kids that come through our program. And I think I know it's really difficult to win here after the legacy that you guys have all left. What was it? 12. How many championships we got? 14. I think before I got here there was 12 in the bank. We've got 3 since, so it was a huge legacy to try and overcome the success, and we tried to kind of follow suit with what you guys did. There was a lot of success there based on juniors, retention of players and development, and all of a sudden we were able to kind of find that same recipe and have a little bit of success as well. But that was all attributed to you guys and what legacy you've left. And we still try and honour what you guys have done today. We obviously understand the journey the club's been on and the individuals that have impacted it, and we try and do a few things to honour yesteryear as well as the volunteers of the club and the people who put in a lot of time. So we have a jersey, we don't have a jersey here, but what we do before every game to symbolise the history, the club, and for everyone who's ever contributed to the Hawks, we fold our jerseys nicely with the number, the emblem, and everything in display, and the players will not put that jersey on until we've had our pre-game speech and we've had our high five, and then they put that jersey on as a symbol to everyone that's come before us. And when that jersey comes off at the end of the game, win, lose or draw, no matter how disappointed they are, that jersey gets folded and put into the bag. It never hits the floor. And I think that's a huge testament to a club that really understands the history and really appreciate what everyone's done before them. So huge thank you to you guys for continuing the journey and ensuring that we are something to live for and play for. So thank you.
Thanks, Matty Parsons. Okay, guys, we have a very special guest here today, Rick Morecambe. Now, I'm told he doesn't mind a bit of a chat, so Rick, these are some of your accolades. The WSBL Hawks head coach for 18 seasons with an impressive record. Under his tenure, the women's SBL team played in 10 grand finals, took home 6 championships in 1998, 2001, 2003, 2007 and 2008, and we are incredibly lucky that Rick is still coaching in the Wobble for us in 2023. Rick, would you like to come up here right now? We'll just have a quick chat for everyone. So Rick, tell us about the longevity for you as a coach, 18 seasons. How does that happen? And what an achievement, firstly.
Thanks. It really wasn't an achievement. It was something I just loved to do. I was never going to go anywhere. I used to love coming to training. I used to love preparing the training. I used to love the games. I used to love the people that played here. So the longevity wasn't an issue. It was just something that was always going to happen until they kicked me out.
It's a lot of championships. Does any in particular stick out for you?
The first one was great in '98, but I suppose 2001, 2002, 2003 as a group. The year before in 2000, we won every game of the season, won the finals, hadn't lost a game, we got beaten in the grand final. And the girls made a resolve that we were going to be the team, we were going to dominate that league for the next few years, and we did. They came back and we won 3 premierships in a row, I think by 15, by close to 30, and then by 40 and stamp our authority on the league. That, to me, that was just fantastic, and it just showed the resolve the girls had. I never thought we had the very best players in the league, but I don't think there was any other club in the league that was as solid as us together as a core.
What does it mean to you when you see the club doing so well on court, like in the recent years?
Oh, it's fantastic. The pathway through is much better and much stronger now with NBL 1. You can go, your exposure to the national competition is there. You've got girls being recruited actively to play in WNBL and to play overseas. It's fantastic to see Hawks going as well. It's fantastic to see them still bringing up their juniors. I love it. I just love the way it's going. I don't love 3 and key.
Okay. Which was your biggest? Okay, you had a lot of really good opposition. Does any stand out? Your greatest adversary?
It's got to be Willerton. I mean, you still go down there today. Like we go there under 14 girls, and you know you're going to get screwed by the refs. You just know it's going to happen. So it was always sweet to beat Willow. Always sweet to beat Willow.
You're still involved in coaching with the club now. Tell us a bit about it. Where does it stack up coaching, I guess, junior basketball versus some very talented women?
Oh, Pete asked me to do under 12s 2-3 years ago, and we've progressed. I'm doing an under 14 Wobble Championship team this year. It's much different to coaching seniors. The kids take longer to develop their team skills. So running offences and defences, you couldn't call out Jabbernar Herd, for instance. You literally have to practice the things that we're doing that you want to get to, and they're much more emotive at 12 and 13. I can tell you, going through all sorts of issues, the girls. But I just love it. I think most of my mob's going to come tonight, and they're really looking forward to meeting some of you girls. So I'll bring them around and say hello, providing they turn up. But yeah, great fun. It really is good.
You mentioned emotive. You had some emotions on the sideline. One of my greatest memories wasn't walking and seeing Mike Bustle around. He was always a big shout out to Mike Bustle. Round of applause for Mike Bustle. But also being about 10 and being like to my dad, what's going on with the head coach of the girls? He's got some weird gyrations and stuff on the sideline. But where does that come from?
I'm not really sure. I remember once I was coaching a state team, and we got to about 1 minute to go, and there was this huge roar from the under 18 boys who had been watching us, and we couldn't work out what it was all about. Turns out it was when I reached 100 of pulling the jocks out of the pump. But I saved the club a heap of money when we moved here, because I stopped stamping and roughing up the floor and breaking the floorboards up. I don't know where it comes from. I just get into it. It's the only way to go. You've got to have passion, whatever you do.
I like it. Last one, and we'll let you go. What is your favourite memory from being a coach of the Hawks?
There's too many memories. I think the first thing that happened when I came to Hawks in 1993, I'd been at another club, and that club basically had the girl players decide who was going to be coach and who wasn't going to be coach. When I came here, my first training session with the girls, we had girls like Kate Sinkovic, Jenny Marsh, Claire Hodgson, Megan Waters, just welcomed me with open arms. Here's a bloke who's never coached senior women before, and they just welcomed me. The difference from that other club to Perry Lakes was dramatic, and it's never changed. Never changed. You always feel welcome when you come in here, and it's just really lovely to see everybody here tonight, and we'll get around and see him soon. I've just got to be a bit careful though, Josh, because I can't get too pissed because I've got to catch at 8 o'clock in the morning, don't I?
Big round of applause for Rick Morgan. So then the game starts at 5 p.m. for the women's, 7 p.m. for the men's. Make sure you use your drink tokens because I'm pretty sure Jenny's counting them all. And make sure you get around. Have a great day, guys.